One day more, he says to himself. But this isn't pre-revolutionary France. It's 3 a.m. in one of those large, stuffy, charmless supermarkets. The lighting is harsh and artificial, as it always is. The store never closes. It simply has moments of calm. It's 3 a.m. and now students were returning from their twilight hijinks, thirsting for more alcohol or getting munchies for the tribe. He pays them no attention, though, for as soon as he steps foot in that place, he is no longer himself. He is Billy. And Billy, he knew, was very good at keeping his head down and speaking only when necessary, and otherwise zoning out completely. Politely and efficiently doing as he was paid to do. Put tomorrow's purchases on tonight's shelves. Billy was something of a silent protagonist. He spoke no evil. He seldom spoke at all. When approached, it would take more than a moment to remember that he was even capable of speaking, of producing any kind of sound. After a few hours of complete silence, he would say nothing to anyone, for he feared he wouldn't make sense. He wouldn't have the volume, wouldn't have the charm to give a warm greeting, let alone hold a conversation. The problem now is that Billy bleeds into life outside the store. He's gone too method. It's become harder these days to leave Billy behind and just be his usual self. So much so, he fears, you could cut him open and there would be no differentiation between which bloody organs were his own and which of them would have property of Billy scratched into them. Most nights you could cut him open and he'd hasten to care. He wondered if segments of his brain had almost completely shriveled up. It took an increasing amount of effort to remember a world before he met Billy. He's aware that he'd studied for over a decade and always did well, though he'd be damned if you asked him to remember anything about Roman rule or the films of the French Nouveau Vague now. He thinks of summers past, but remembers nothing. He's aware that they must have happened, the lines on his forehead a reminder of that, but he'd be hard-pressed to remember them. All that remains at this moment are the songs which tell him to keep moving, that this too shall pass. Come on, Eileen. They help. It's 3 a.m. For 1, maybe 2 days each week, he almost feels like himself. For 4 days each month, Billy is cast aside, for 48 fleeting moments. It's no wonder a year can fly by with nothing to mark it but another name on the list of friends he no longer has. It's on these days that he tries to write. Short stories, both grounded in reality and relishing in the fantastical. Stories about parties ruined by garlic bread and farmers haunted by the ghosts of cattle past. He briefly considers writing about a boy in a similar situation to himself. It's easier to think in third person. He considers reading it, wonders if anyone would care to watch if he did. Hell, maybe it would provoke an emotional response. Maybe it would help him get work in a field he so desperately wishes to be part of. Who knows? For now, though, Billy stares blankly into the void. It's 3 a.m.